guys, Asher coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends. Welcome to the video. Who doesn't love a good nuker tier list? The top nukers in the game. We did a video like this, the class of 2023 nukers for PvP in the arena in Raid Shadow Legends. We're going to do it again, and the crazy thing is, if you look back, I think 11 months ago on the channel, the class of 2023, about half of these champions are new. They were not in the game last year. That tells you one big thing, loud and clear. Sing it from the rooftops, or yell it from the rooftops. Either way, yell it, sing it, it doesn't matter. Power creep or power creep. A little singing. Rooftops. Anyway, guys, let's go ahead and get into it here. I actually feel, usually I hem and haw about, oh, this is so tough to make. This is so difficult, guys.
He thinks you're dangerous. What do you think? I think you're trying to help.
But this one, I actually feel really strongly about. I feel like I nailed it on this one, guys. There's a billion honorable mentions. Everybody from like a Turvold to a Xena, who, the only one that was tough here is like 9 and 10. You know, do I give it to Xena? Do I give it to Rhonda? Do I give it to like a Turvold, a Baron? These are the Candrafon. Like none of these made the list, by the way, right? But it was tough, and this goes to show you how good the top 10 are. Anyway, number 10 on our list is going to be Leo, Leorius the Proud. Why is Leo on the list? I'm not going to read all their kits to you guys. Odds are you're familiar with a lot of them. Why is he so good? A, unkillable. B, 2 strong, hard-hitting AoE attacks. And C, and this is what really put him over some of those champions that I mentioned earlier, is he can't be CC'd, right? That's so freaking strong. He's tough for an attack-based nuker. What do we need? We need survivability, and we need some way to not allow them to be controlled before they have a turn to go, because they're not tanky, you know? And he's got both of those in his kit, plus a ton of damage on 2 AoE attacks. Plus, obviously, you can use this guy everywhere outside the arena as well. Just one of the best attack-based nukers in the game. It is Leo at number 10. At number 9 on the list, it is gonna, and this is another one that I thought, should I even include him? But hell yeah, I should include him. Sun Wukong. The reason I say should I include him is because Sun Wu is one of the best, if not the best, outside the lockout champions, control champion in the game for arena, certainly in the conversation, however you rank him. But he's also a damage dealer. I mean, he has almost 1800 base attack, and he has a 50% ignore defense with some just insane surplus damage, right? I mean, when we talk about Sun Wukong, right? It's really the A2. It's not the A3 that we're talking about for that damage. And hey, odds are, if you've been playing this game for any amount of time, you've gone against Sun Wukong, or you've played Sun Wukong on your team, and he's just smoked everybody with that A2, right? So he's incredibly versatile. He's great for control, but he's also very good when built as a nuker too. And he's just so pervasive. He's in every top team, not every, but he's in a lot of top teams. He and UDK, you know, and it's not just because they were free, are 2 of the most popular champions in the game for good reason. He can dish out some serious damage. He has a speed aura. You guys know Sun Wu, right? Comes back to life, 100% turn meter. He's annoying, and he's very good. He's annoying. All right, coming in at number 8 on the list. Some people might be surprised at how, I'm gonna say, far he's fallen. Again, it just speaks to how good everybody is, you know, as we keep going here. It's Jorid the Breaker, right? Nutcracker. He's still amazing. And why is he amazing? Well, I mean, he's still the only serviceable nuker who can ignore Stone Skin. He's granting extra turn. He's dealing a ton of damage. He has an irresistible, decreased turn meter on a super strong AoE. He's got unkillable built into his kit, not like a fail-safe in case I'm gonna die like Leo, but he's still got it as long as you kill an enemy on that AoE, which is very strong. But most importantly, his claim to fame is a 50% chance for this champion to ignore 50% of the target's defense from each hit placed by this champion's skill. So like on this double hitter, both those hits have an independent 50% chance of ignoring defense. You add that to Helm Smash, you add that to Savage or Lethal Gear, and you have the holy grail for arena nukers, or, you know, just nukers in general, and that is ignore 100% of enemy defense. Nutcracker is definitely one to be feared inside the arena. All right, coming in at number 7 on the list. Number 7 on the list is going to be, you guys know how much I love this champion. It pains me to put her at number 7 because I love her so much, but it is Harima. Harima, why is she so good? Well, she's a defensive just beast. She's tanky. She has a kill somebody with her hard-hitting A2, and then you get the immediate activation of Celestial Awe, which is a very hard-hitting AoE attack that also provokes, right? So she's got control. She's got AoEs. She's got more AoEs that are instantly activated by the A2. She's not the hardest hitting defensive nuker in the game, but she's damn near close. And her kit, just it's incredible, right? And of course, we're certainly not done when we talk about Harima. There's a reason that she's being used. You know, if I looked at the top 50 arena here, I'm recording on a Sunday. Right now, she's going to be on, 10, 15, maybe even 20 teams. She's very popular because of the Demon Slayer passive. This is, because she's Force Affinity, tanky, and has Demon Slayer, she's a really good response to very popular champions like a Rotos, who we're talking about in a minute too. Enemy ignore defense effects are decreased by 50%. I mean, that is a very disruptive passive. It helps keep your team alive, and it's the reason she's one of the more banned nukers out there in the game in live arena as well. So that's Harima. Speak of the devil, coming in at number 6 on our list is going to be the man, the myth, the legend, Rotos the Lost Groom. Rotos is still Rotos. It's cool that Rotos, a single target nuker in the game, years later, if I look at who I have above him, everybody's new to the game for the most part, the last year or so, year or two. Not Rotos. Rotos has been hanging around since 2019, I want to say. 2020? Either way, a while, and he's still high on this list as a single target nuker. That's incredible. He's still being used by some of the top players on the top teams in both live arena and classic arena in the game. What more do I say about this dude other than, well, an incredibly hard-hitting Fated Destruction with the chance to block revive and Vitality Plunder. It's only a 2-turn cooldown. Obviously, he's great with Siphi. He's great without Siphi. He has the extra turn mechanic as well. You kill somebody here, you kill somebody there, and you get maybe an extra turn on the A1 too. Rotos is still, by far and away, in my opinion, the best single target arena nuker in the game. All right, we're going into the top 5, guys. And as I said, I feel very strongly. Shout out to Valkynin. I love Valkynin, but he's not just there, but he'd be my top 20. I really love him. And while we're here with the shout outs, little interlude before we get to the top 5, LMA, after her buff, as well as Supreme Aethel, believe it or not, are very, very good now, but they're just not in this meta. Do I put them top 10 or super close, to be honest with you, but they're a lot better than they used to, which is really cool. All right, coming in at number 5, you guys know what's going to happen, right? We're moving into mythical territory. 3 of the top 5 champions are going to be mythicals. How do you feel about mythicals? Do you think they were a mistake to be added to the game? Do you think they're great? Let me know. Geral Bloodmaog comes in at number 5. I have Geral, and I love Geral. She's amazing for Hydra especially, but she's also incredible for the arena. Again, I'm not going to go over all these mythicals' entire kits because we'd be here for an hour and a half. However, cover some highlights. On her base form is not her nuke form, okay? This is her control support form. She has a provoke and an unkillable for 3 turns on herself. And then she has an ally protection as well, and a block buffs on all allies, okay? And a shield. But on her nuking form, not only does she have an incredible hard-hitting AoE on her A1 attack, and a 20% chance to repeat the attack as well, which procs, well, 1 out of 5 times. It's really nice because it hits very hard. On the A2, Calamitous Maul hits exceptionally hard, and it's on a 3-turn cooldown. Attacks all enemies. Damage by this skill increases by 10% for each buff on this champion, ignoring 30% of the target's defense, which is beautiful. And then Crimson Haze. This is what really puts her into the top 5. I mean, she already does insane damage, but whenever an ally attacks, she has a 25% chance to team in and join on the attack. Damage increases as this champion's HP decreases by 1% for every 1% HP lost. Whew! That's a lot, but what you can do is, even the Crimson Haze, you can take her when she's low on HP, she has Unkillable, she has the Provoke, she'll be low on health maybe, you metamorph, and then you take advantage of the Crimson Haze, and you just nuke everybody just to smithereens with the A2, and then without her even taking a turn, excuse me, she'll just come in with a Magma Slam, kind of like vis-a-vis a little Ronda action, where she just has a chance of joining up, right? Very strong little Michinaki there, right? Coming in at number 4 on the list, oh man, talk about a champion who went from so bad. I hated him. I talk smack about this dude so often, but it's Sigr in the Nephilim. Hated him. I talk smack about this dude so often. In case you missed my last video, guys, or 2 videos ago, I forgot. Check it out. This guy is now one of the very best nukers in the game. You know, I put him at number 4 because I don't want to get too carried away with myself when he was just buffed. You know, I want to let things settle a little bit. He might creep up to number, he has the green arrow going up, you know? He might creep up to number 3 or 2 or 1, who knows? He's insane. I've already seen him a lot in Gold 3 Live Arena. I've seen him a lot in Top 100 Platinum, where I am right now, just kind of see the landscape in preparation for today's video. And again, it's on a Sunday, so we're closing in on the end of the, so it's, you know, it's not just a Monday Top 50 or whatever. Yeah, I mean, all I have to say, guys, is I still hate that he has a secret skill Metamorph, but when he does Metamorph, when he's the last living ally, it's so handy. Like, when it does work, it's really nice to have, you know, but it's frustrating that he can't just Metamorph like every other mythical. But we're here to talk about the damage. He can deal pretty nice damage on the A2. It's all about filling his turn meter, though. Each critical hit fills his champion's turn meter by 25%. So you use this ability, and then he basically is at close to 100% turn meter, provided you have critical hits, and then resets the cooldown of Rage of Nephilim. It's all about Rage of Nephilim with this dude. It's a 50% ignore defense. They jacked up the multipliers just insanely. He is so broken now in terms of the damage that he puts out. It's incredible. In terms of he's my second ranked attack-based nuker in the game. Just check that video out, guys. It's absurd. He's hitting for 300, 400, 500,000 damage on this ability. And then the surplus kills everybody else. Okay, Sigfried. Wow. Great buff. All right, coming in at number 3 on the list. This might be a little controversial, guys. I think a lot of people would have Lazarius at number 1 on their list. And obviously number 3 is amazing. I mean, look at these freaking champions we're talking about today. The cool thing about this dude is he just does it all. He's fast, tons of damage. He's got a speed in all battles by 25%. That's best in the game. He's got turn meter fill. He's got decreased turn meter of enemies, increased attack. He's got strengthen. He's like a support, little mini Lysandra-esque here on this base form. He's got block debuffs on all allies. He's decreasing the duration of all buffs on enemies by 2 turns. Block buffs afterwards. But then on the second form, he becomes Mr. Nuker. Mr. Nuker extraordinaire. He's got the attack all enemies, ignoring shield and increased defense buffs. Before attacking, he's removing all debuffs from himself. Increased damage by 15% for each debuff removed. If no debuffs are removed, we still get the 15% for each ally alive. Wow. So we get a 45% damage increase as long as the allies are alive in the arena. That's very good. Destructive Surge, well, it does exactly what you think it does. It destructively surges and kills everything. Flame Vulcan is very hard-hitting as well. It's ignoring ally protection, strengthen, and shields, as well as 30% of target's defense, and it steals their turn meter. Can't be resisted. Very, very, very strong. Comes in at number 3 on the list. He's my most wanted. I don't know if I want him the most in the game or if I want Galathir, Starsage. Probably, I don't know who I want, but one of these 3, Alaz as well, the Sun Bear. What about you guys? Who's your most wanted mythical? I've been saving my primal shards forever, it feels like, for a 2x event. So next time there is one, get ready for a massive primal shard opening. Coming in at number 2 in the game, this dude, I called it, and it wasn't going too far out on a limb. It was apparent, you know, as soon as he was added to the game, it was apparent how good he was. You just had to try him out in the arena for 2 seconds. It is White King Narcissus, all the way at number 2 on the list. I considered for a moment putting it at number 1. This dude is the real deal. Even if you don't have White King, Queen and Korra, obviously he's a lot better with her. But if you don't have her, Again, go take a look at the top arena team. You know, I'll show you after I finish the list, I'll show you the top arena teams. It is White King is starting to be everywhere. You know, talk about green arrow like Sigr going up. First of all, he's tanky. He's an HP-based champion. It's funny, HP-based champions back in the day, they weren't anything to be happy about in this game. Now, like, you know, a couple years ago, they added Eric's, and it's like, oh, cool. It was just Sir Nick. He's like, okay, he's the best we got. And he's not really like an uber nuker, you know, he's not an arena nuker, in the end game at least, right? He never was. But then you get like Eric's, and you're like, oh, I guess HP-based champions can nuke a little bit. You get like a Timid the Fool, you're like, oh, this is pretty cool, this is cool. And then you get Taurus, and then you get White King, and now the game is dominated by HP-based nukers. Isn't that kind of cool? I like it. Anyway, he's easy to keep alive because he's got a boatload of HP, and it scales very well. Attacks all enemies, ignore 25% of the target's defense, places an extra hit on targets under shield or strengthen. This Desecration Blast is just mind-boggling damage. And I'm going to go all the way to his passive, right? This champion's skills will also ignore shield and strengthen buffs. What more do I have to say other than he attacking targets under a shield or strengthen? He's just like an easy one-shot kill or two-shot kill, I guess, with this A2. A3 hits hard too, and his damage goes up for each buff on the target and himself as well. But man, he just, what can I say? He's tanky and he hits so freaking hard. You know, he can hit harder than Taurus, who, surprise, surprise, is number 1 on our list. He can hit harder than Taurus, depend if they're under a shield or strengthen, so that he can get that extra hit on the A2, you know? Think about constant pressure with a few buffs on Taurus ×2. It's insane. But Taurus does still come in at number 1 overall. He's the most used nuker in the game. He's tanky. He's very difficult to kill, which is part of the problem or the solution, depending on how you're looking at it. It's either the biggest pro or the biggest con. But really, you stack this guy up with a Marichka, a Duchess, a Sif, someone who's going to give him a lot of buffs and you know, keep him from being CC'd. And he's just going to absolutely decimate everybody with the constant pressure ability. It's so strong. I don't need to tell you guys about it. You know. And then the hero's intersection is so strong as well. It's a 2-turn stun as well. Deals double damage to enemies whose attack is equal to or higher than this champion's attack. So you can just, you know, usually one-shot somebody. If you don't, you get a 2-turn stun on that. And then just wait till your constant pressure comes off cooldown and sayonara enemy team. So there you go, guys. That's my top 10 arena nukers in the game. What do you guys think of my list? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Let me just show you guys, as I mentioned, in the arena right now. Let's take a look at the top players. So what teams do we see here? So we see a Sigr in the number 1 team right now. That's crazy, huh? And then we see some Taurus. We see Rotos, Taurus. We see Sigr again. We see Lazarius. We see White King, Taurus, Lazarius, White King, Taurus. You guys get the, you know, these are the top 5. I haven't seen a lot of Gerals though. Let's just keep Geral right there. A lot of Tauruses, right? Lazarius, Sigr, Taurus, Lazarius, White King. You can see, guys, I mean, these 4 or 5 champions are dominating the nuking meta right now. Do you have any of the champions on the list? That's my last question for you guys. Let me know if you do. Let me know who you have, and let me know who your most wanted is in the comments below. Much love, and as always, take care, guys.